What's your purpose? Three words that sound like wisdom but taste like poison. Right now, as you watch this, that question is rewiring your brain into patterns of perpetual suffering. Tolstoy discovered the antidote, but it cost him everything: his sanity, his family, his identity. The secret he found? Purpose isn't something you find. It's something that hunts you, and once it catches you, you're never free again. There's a question that haunts the ambitious, torments the intelligent, and breaks the strong. It whispers in quiet moments, screams during crises, and follows you like a shadow through every achievement. What's your purpose? Tolstoy heard this question at the height of his success. Wealthy, renowned, surrounded by family, yet suddenly drowning in an existential void that made him hide ropes and avoid knives. He observed 4 ways humans cope with life's apparent meaninglessness. But here's what he didn't tell you. Each path led to the same prison. The universe has been conducting an experiment for billions of years, creating and destroying without ever asking why. From the first hydrogen atoms to the last black hole's evaporation, existence has demonstrated perfect indifference to meaning. Yet humans created this construct called purpose, just as we invented time. Arbitrary frameworks that became our cages. What Tolstoy discovered in those simple peasants wasn't faith, it was sovereignty. They had cracked the code that turns meaning from master into servant. Tonight, you'll learn their secret, because searching for purpose isn't just futile. It's the very thing destroying your power to truly live. The question that destroyed Tolstoy is destroying you right now, rewiring your neural pathways into patterns of perpetual seeking and voluntary enslavement. What's your purpose? Seems like wisdom, but it's psychological poison dressed as philosophy. Before someone asked about your purpose, were you suffering from its absence? Or did the question create the void it pretends to fill? The universe demonstrates this truth. Stars form and die without purpose. Galaxies collide without meaning. Yet here you are, atoms that gained consciousness only to torture themselves with questions the cosmos never asked. You're about to discover why Tolstoy's 4 paths aren't solutions, but symptoms. Tolstoy observed 4 ways humans cope with meaninglessness. But here's what he didn't see. They're all the same prison with different decorations. The absurdists who shrug at life's meaninglessness, still trapped by their need to respond. The hedonists drowning in pleasure, desperately fleeing from the void they claim doesn't matter. Those who end it all? The ultimate admission that meaning's absence has meaning. And those in limbo, paralyzed between options? The most honest prisoners, at least acknowledging their chains. Even Tolstoy's breakthrough, finding God in simple faith, was just a transfer to minimum security. He traded existential terror for comfortable submission, but remained incarcerated by the need for external validation. The peasants he admired weren't enlightened. They'd simply decorated their cells so beautifully they forgot about the bars. Here's the revelation. Every response to meaninglessness reinforces meaning's tyranny. The moment you react, whether with despair, pleasure, faith, or indifference, you've already admitted defeat. The void doesn't care if you embrace it or flee from it. Both responses prove you're still its prisoner. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. In approximately 100 quintillion years, the last black hole will evaporate, leaving nothing but quantum foam expanding into infinite darkness. Between these 2 points, you exist. A brief arrangement of matter that decided it needs purpose to justify its presence. The cosmos finds this adorable. Watch what existence actually does. Hydrogen fuses into helium without questioning why. Supernovae scatter elements across space without seeking validation. Galaxies collide in billion-year dances, creating and destroying without ever pausing to ask, "What's my purpose?" The universe demonstrates meaninglessness not as tragedy, but as pure creative force. Action without justification, existence without excuse. Now the stakes intensify. Humans invented meaning exactly like we invented time. Both are measuring systems for phenomena that need no measurement. A second is just Earth's rotation divided arbitrarily. Purpose is just existence divided by insecurity. Neither time nor meaning exist outside human consciousness. Yet both became our masters. Tolstoy's peasants unknowingly grasped this. Their faith wasn't belief. It was creative sovereignty. They generated meaning like body heat, naturally, without effort, discarding it when no longer useful. They didn't find purpose. They manufactured it at will. You're not seeking meaning. You're fleeing from your power to create it. But wait. If meaning is just a construct, why does its absence hurt so much? Here's the uncomfortable truth. You're addicted to your own prison. Purpose-seeking activates the same neural pathways as cocaine. Each time you ask, "Why am I here?" you're chasing a hit that will never satisfy. Tolstoy's crisis wasn't spiritual. It was withdrawal. 50 years of meaning addiction suddenly interrupted by clarity. His body revolted against truth like a junkie denied their fix. The ropes he hid, the knives he avoided, these weren't symbols of philosophical despair, but biological rebellion against freedom. Society maintains this addiction deliberately. Every institution, religious, educational, corporate, profits from your purpose-seeking. They pose the question to sell the answer, creating customers for meaning like dealers create addicts. Even self-help is drug dealing disguised as medicine. The peasants Tolstoy envied? They weren't faithful, they were clean. Their simple lives bypassed the addiction cycle entirely. They created meaning without craving it, used it without needing it. Your search for purpose isn't noble, it's neurochemical slavery. And your dealer is civilization itself. Here's the paradox that changes everything. The people most certain of their purpose are the least free, while those who abandon the search entirely become infinitely powerful. This isn't philosophy, it's physics. A particle's position and momentum cannot both be known. Certainty in one dimension creates chaos in another. Tolstoy glimpsed this paradox in his final years. He gave away his wealth not from holy conviction, but from terrible freedom, the recognition that meaning was optional. His family thought him mad because sanity itself is prison thinking. The truly sovereign appear insane to inmates. Ready for the twist? You already know you're in prison. That's why you're watching this. Every prophet discovered the same secret. Meaning is a tool, not a master. Use it like fire, powerful when controlled, destructive when worshipped. Tolstoy's tragedy wasn't his crisis, but his conversion. He escaped one prison only to build another. You stand at the same threshold. Will you exchange cages or transcend them entirely? So what's your purpose? The question that began this journey now reveals itself as the trap it always was. Not because life lacks meaning, but because the question assumes you need permission to exist. Every star that burns, every atom that spins, every galaxy that wheels through darkness. None sought authorization. Neither should you. Tolstoy's four paths, absurdism, hedonism, ending life, limbo, weren't different solutions, but different surrender documents. Even his faith was capitulation disguised as victory. The peasants he admired had stumbled upon sovereignty accidentally, creating meaning as casually as breathing, never mistaking their creation for their creator. The universe's timeline exposes the truth. From Big Bang to heat death, existence justifies itself by existing. Meaning isn't discovered or absent. It's generated by consciousness and discarded when obsolete. You are not a seeker of purpose, but a generator of reality itself. Here's what changes everything. The search for purpose will destroy your life because it assumes you're incomplete. But you were born whole. The void you're trying to fill is the space where your crown belongs. Stop seeking permission to exist. Start existing with the authority of stars. Burning without reason, illuminating without purpose. Creating because creation is what consciousness does. Tomorrow morning, you'll wake up and feel it. That familiar itch to search, to seek, to find your why. This is your moment of sovereignty. Instead of scratching that itch, watch it. See it for what it is. Civilization's leash, evolution's anxiety, society's control mechanism. Then choose. Choose to create meaning for the next hour. Then discard it. Write a purpose on paper, then burn it. Build an identity, then abandon it. This isn't nihilism, it's liberation. You're not rejecting meaning, you're mastering it. Like a king who knows the crown is just metal, you wear it when useful, remove it when it's not. The fallen king doesn't seek purpose or flee from purposelessness. He stands sovereign over both, wielding meaning like Excalibur, powerful when drawn, peaceful when sheathed. Your throne awaits, built from the rubble of every purpose you'll create and destroy. Start tonight. Create a meaning star. Use it, star, then let it die. In that death, find your life. The stars burn without asking why. The void expands without seeking purpose. And you, sovereign consciousness wrapped in flesh, need no permission to exist. Now you know. Now you're free. Welcome to your throne.